there, friends. How are you? This is Emily Windsor Craig, and it is Wednesday, the 23rd of December, 2020. And what is become is jumping out from every nook and cranny and corner and journal is the uncertainty that we have to confront right now because, for one thing, President Trump is just throwing stuff off his desk and saying, no, 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 you don't do that. You don't do this. Okay. If you haven't done that, I'm not going to do this. Okay. And if you come to YouTube and you look for what's on the home page, it's all Christmas music and symphonic music and how to walk your horse down a path and just some of the silliest things, and then there are the people who are prognosticating and speculating about what's going to happen next. And as an older person, I just wanted to chime in a few things here about uncertainty. One, it is not a fatal disease. You can actually live through it. The feeling of not knowing what's coming at you, okay, is definitely a feeling that you want to pay attention to. You have to suspend your judgments, suspend your beliefs. You just kind of put everything up on a shelf and wait. Okay, this is what the silent night is about. Is waiting for the manifestation of a future to occur. All right, now, when I went to the store today, there were a group of us sitting outside munching on goodies that we couldn't eat inside. And I happened to mention, well, I wasn't wearing a mask, okay. And so there was a woman there who was very disturbed because I wasn't wearing a mask. And when I shared with her my sense of not being scared because I self-isolate most of the time, I keep distance most of the time, I'm just here to pick up a special order, the fact that I wasn't frightened her. And she triggered. And she blessed me with all kinds of accusations and charges and epithets and so on. And so when she finally left, the other people gathered around and said, that really wasn't reasonable. And and so on. And I said, look, fear is fear. Uncertainty brings up fear in some people. And maybe they haven't lived with it very much. Okay, how does one know the difference between things? Maybe they're parts of the same thing. Well, if we're focused on things and we're moving from thing A to thing B to thing C, from the television to the car to the shopping to the things, if we're looking at the things, then the relationships get lost. That's a good point, Info Header. The relationships get lost in the shuffle when we're obsessing over the things that we need, the things that we're missing, the things we have to have, the things we expect, the things we want. Okay, things do not alleviate the uncertainty when our future is in doubt. And what I find alleviates that uncertainty, because here I am at this age, when a lot of people my age are checking out already, and I confront the uncertainty of, well, am I going to be here for another year or 5 years or 10 years or 20 years or whatever? And in order to do that and not freeze out of fear, you have to let go of your grounding, your magnetic grounding, and allow your spirit. Hi, Phil. Allow your spirit to fly free. And this is how we felt when we were a child, just showing up in the world, not knowing where we fit in and not knowing what the future was going to be. Now we are called to be children again. This is why Christmas is so useful now that things are so uncertain, because they're not just, is Santa coming for the children, but is a future coming for the adults. We have to be like children now. And hey, Christmas is the perfect time for us all to be like children together, because we don't know what kind of future is going to show up. There are threats against Iran, and there are threats against China, and there are problems with the election that are surfacing and surfacing and surfacing. And right now, the left side, the Democratic Party, appears to be rather quiet, although because I don't have a television in my house and I'm not listening to their propaganda, I have no idea what they're talking about, except that they have accepted a candidate for the office of president who's a known lecher, a known influence peddler who receives bribes from foreign countries and can't remember where he is half the time. We have a candidate who is pretending he's the president-elect, who's trying to convince us that his future is our future. And I'm not buying it, baby. No way. No way in my mind can I imagine that this country would ever accept that sort of candidate as a president-elect. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So we do have uncertainty with regard to disease and how it is being handled by the disease management system. And we don't know how that's going to turn out either, all right? But let's just be children and enjoy Christmas and enjoy the uncertainty of the long silent night, what will manifest for us in the next few days and weeks, and how will we retrieve and restore our nation to a sense of certain justice, certain fairness, certain equity. Let's fix our problems and not throw them to the winds of wishing and wishcraft. If you've looked at the methods of the left and of the Marxists and socialists and communists and Islamists and Zionists and globalists, you realize that their idea of fixing problems is to burn down the house. I don't think so. No, I think we can do better than that. And so while we're waiting for Christ to manifest in this generation, one of the things I'm doing is thinking about which problem I want to address and fix that I might have some influence on, okay? My neighbor downstairs died yesterday. And so one of the things that I can do is dog sit for his wife's little dog while they make arrangements. Okay, that's something I can actually do. What can you actually do? What can you do to give peace or a sense of inclusion or a sense of certainty that tomorrow's going to be okay? Maybe this Christmas You can pass around a little of your certainty, pass around a little hope, pass around a little of the wisdom that God has given you so far. When money is scarce, and it is very scarce now for most people, what we can pass around is the sense of relationship. Hey, neighbor, can I get you something? Are you okay now? I have a neighbor who shows up every couple of days looking for car fare. And so it's a ministry to give her car fare. That's okay. Another neighbor, rather ugly. I mean, just look at really, really, really. Unfortunately, I always smile at him. Always smile. Hi, how are you? Give somebody your smile. If you don't have money to give gifts, give yourself. And that's how we are going to get through this uncertainty, by giving of ourselves and of what we know how to do best. And so my wish for you this Christmas Eve day is that you'll find your gift that will make people feel better. Happy Christmas. Bye-bye.